Morning, guys. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna head out to the east side of town, off Weed Patch Highway, and we're going to I think we're gonna try and buy some chains and binders. This guy had chains and binders on Facebook Marketplace, and he had 4 8-footers. Looks like we might be in for some cooler weather. Not much, but at least we got some cloud cover over there. That's a little bit of a relief, but it's not gonna be much. Anyway, this guy had these binders on Marketplace. They were 4 8-footers and 4 binders for $200. We're gonna go check them out. I gotta say, for a summer morning in Bakersfield, that's a pretty majestic view there with that cloud cover. Sun kind of peeking through behind it. Pretty neat. A little mysterious. Alright, so we made it over to look at this loader. Fires right up, and it sounds good. He said it's got a transmission problem, and I'm pretty certain it's something electric, something to do with electrical, because it intermittently works. The transmission sometimes it'll work, sometimes it won't. And we had an issue with our 724. Similar. We don't know if it's the same thing, but it wouldn't go into gear, and it turned out being a bad ground is what it actually was. This one doesn't have the third valve, but it's cheap. So tires are not very good. It would be something as a backup for us. Probably shouldn't even buy it, but for the price, I mean, for a loader of this size, you can't find one. And it was at a rock plant, so it didn't really do a whole lot of digging. It was doing mostly just loading trucks. It definitely could be an option for us, so I'm gonna mess around with it and see what we come up with. I was even talking to this guy, because he's an equipment company. He's got everything out here, and I was talking to him about maybe some trading, doing some horse trading and some cash for this thing, so we could get into it even cheaper on stuff that I already want to get rid of. So let's see what we got. All right, so we just bought that loader, and I think we're going to go check out those ratchet straps. But I had to stop by 84 Lumber here in Bakersfield and grab some hardware. So I got my hardware. I'm making pretty good progress today. So we ended up getting that loader for 15 grand, which in the grand scheme of things, yeah, it's an old loader, but I ran it. It's got about 8,000 hours on it. Sounds great. The engine sounds great. Transmission, everything. It's just old and ugly. So it does have an intermittent issue with that transmission, but when you get it in gear, it pulls strong, it shifts, it does everything it's supposed to do. So I know it's an electrical issue, and we're gonna get Isaac, our mechanic. We're gonna take it over to his yard and get it diagnosed, get that problem fixed, and I think we're gonna be in really good shape. So happy to get that thing for the price that he gave it to me for. He was wanting like 24 grand at one time for it. He dropped it down to like 22.5. I offered him 10. He said no. He said, I'll sell it to you for 15 though. I had to say yes. I had to say yes. There was no saying no to that. It's an 821, good size loader. Weighs about 40, somewhere in the 40,000 pound class. Might be a little bit more than that. But it's just gonna be a nice backup loader in Mammoth. We're taking it up to Mammoth, and so that we'll have a backup. I thought that might have been an accident, but it looks like they're just trying to get off the road here. Not quite out of the road, buddy. I'd pull up a little more if I was him. This guy's thinking about going for a swim. Good morning, guys. Welcome back to Dirty Hands TV and another episode. Today we are going back out to the Stillwell yard to get that loader we picked up. And I got a truck gonna be out there around 9 o'clock. So we're gonna go meet Lonnie out there. And we're gonna get that thing loaded on a trailer and brought back over to our place. And see if we can't diagnose that problem. And the reason why we got the loader so cheap. I have a really strong suspicion that it's something very simple. Has something to do with the not the transmission, I guess, but the shifting mechanism going from neutral into gear. It intermittently wants to go into gear. We had a problem like that with our other loader, as I've said, and we thought all kinds of different things. End up being something fairly simple with our John Deere. So Stillwell had this loader, and he wanted like 25 grand for it. We ended up getting it for 15, which even at 25, there was still some equity in that loader. So got it for 15. We're gonna put a little bit of money into it, see if we can't figure out that shifting issue, and I think we're gonna have a pretty good loader on our hands if we can get that figured out. I already talked to my mechanic, gave him the serial numbers on it. He's doing some some research and see if he can once I get it over to the yard, he's gonna come see if he can't diagnose it, which I'm pretty sure he can. He's real good with electrical stuff. So as you can see, we still haven't gotten too far on the brewery yet. It's just so many things going on in our life. It's one thing at a time for us. And then I'm always adding something to the plate, which Lori sometimes doesn't like that, but I got this loader. For today, that's going to be priority. We're going to go out there, we're going to get that thing loaded and get it back over to our place and see if we can't figure out what's going on with that thing. So let's get to it. All right, guys, we just made it over to Stillwell's yard. He's got a lot of cool stuff around this yard. I like that old grader. That'd be perfect for out at the ranch, working on them roads. If I could get a good deal on something like that one of these days, that'll be probably one of the next things I want to get. That one doesn't have rippers on the back, so I definitely want the rippers, break things up and then do the grading. There's our problem child over there, and truck's on its way. We're gonna see if we can't figure out what's going on with the transmission on it. get it to the yard. All right, so Cal Lobed, they just got here. He's gonna get his truck broke down so we can throw this bad boy up on there. I had it going into gear earlier, so we're gonna see if it's still gonna go into gear for me. Okay, now we're gonna see if we can get this thing to move on its own. If not, we got the forklift right here. He's gonna push me. Hoping I can just drive it right up on there. All right, so far so good. It's moving on its own power. I made it up onto the trailer and then it stopped. So it's gonna get a little push. Okay, we got it on, and it gave us a little bit of trouble. Once I got it up on the trailer, it didn't want to move. It drove all the way out, got up on the trailer, went over the trailer, everything. When I got right here, it stopped.
So you used to work for Steve?
It's up here,
Steve? Yeah.
up on the trailer. All right, we're finally off. We're headed back to the patting yard. Waited for that truck for almost 2 hours. Finally got here. We got it up on the trailer pretty quickly. So the driver's, he's strapping it down right now, and we're going to get this thing to its new home over at our place.